Alright, yo, this is gonna be a quick analysis of the scrim that's between the top two teams from last season, Run It Back and Witness Gaming. Witness Gaming being the first place team, and Run It Back being our runner-up second place team. Uh, Both teams played extremely well, very good players, uh, and notably some of the best players currently playing are on these teams. Jay-Z is an exceptional spy. Uh, Poseidon is a very good, well-rounded player. Lenny is just the best sniper in Highlander in general. Uh, Exile is a top invite sixes and Highlander player. Blank is probably just one of the best Highlander players in general. Uh, and like the other players are definitely super good, but those are like the super top notable ones. So there's a lot to learn from how they're playing. So first off, right off the bat, it's going to be stickies. It looks like they put scattered crit stickies on Run It Back. The two on the cart are really tricky to deal with because they put it right in front of the cart, meaning that when blue exits the spawn gate and they're clearing stickies, they're going to, in order to get to the stickies in front of the cart, they would have to go around it, assuming that they come out of the main gate. And if they touch the cart, then the cart goes over the stickies, meaning they can't be destroyed. Potentially meaning that once the cart goes all the way over the stickies, if you time it right as demo, you can then just immediately det on them, while they're indestructible. I think if the cart is directly on them at the time, it won't do damage though, so you have to wait for the cart to run over completely. And I can see through the nameplates that they're opting to use the new invite forward hold on first, as an attempt to buy as much time as they can.
3, 2,
Yeah, they have their gun, dispenser, and level 3 telly all here. Their combos back here. And then they have their heavy and scout playing around the rocks. Heavy's using the head glitch with the scout just kind of supporting him. Spy's playing for information on the hill. This is very kind of typical of this kind of hold, and it's a new thing that invite players are doing pretty consistently now. Sniper likes to take a couple of quick shots from the flank before leaving it. Yeah, he does 2 shots and leaves, if you notice from the red side, which is pretty typical. Melon was using detonator to clear the crit sticks, super efficient that way. They're playing for cart time, and then their combo is playing to clear the flank house as best they can, at least. They're getting ready to fight. It looks like they're going to get through the exchange right away. Now, at surface level, this may seem kind of pointless, right? Because you, as blue team, you know that they have Uber, right? And oftentimes, teams want to try to get the red Uber out without using their own. It's for this kind of hold, and in general for a lot of stopwatch holds, it's really hard to take the point at even Ubers. And honestly, I would say a fair amount of Koth works like that as well. That's why teams usually opt to do sack waves. It's much more productive, though, in my opinion, to do what this team is doing, where the point is just to get the exchange going, so that neither team has Uber. Even Ubers benefits the red team more than the blue team. So what they're doing is, although they know they can't get the gun, they can't take the space with this Uber, if they can just get the Uber out, and what do you know, they do get the Uber out, that's all they want. Honestly, they could have gone by, probably, without Ubering, which would have been really bad for the blue team. But since they did Uber, this is a great exchange, and it was a pretty late Uber too. Meaning while Red's Uber lasts later, so they're invincible when the blue team isn't invincible, just with the positioning and such, how it's going to end up with not much happening, and then blue team is going to have Uber advantage. Yeah, notice at this point, they're already at 1% Uber on blue team, while Uber is still decreasing on red. It's probably going to be a slight, like, 10% disadvantage for red team. Now, while that Uber was happening, they're still getting a little bit of cart time, and at this point, the sniper is trying to peek the hill to get an angle onto the gun. Scout was trying to help contest this heavy, because this heavy spot is super strong, and they just don't want him to be here. Soldier whips to bomb around. Since he did the whip first, he got a little bit extra speed and distance from the jump. It does get denied. At the same time, the demo was trying to peek as well to get a little bit of spam off. No one's really there to support him though. Spy gets on the cross, and demo gets dropped because he's being shot from the gun, he's being shot from the heavy, from the scout, and by the demo. Because he was super kind of caught out there. He did what he could, but this is kind of a misplay. Yeah, sniper's trying to peek the hill, that's the best thing that they have. No one's currently in the side flank, which I think is kind of a mistake, but it is what it is, especially now that they're 3 down. It looks like they're going to have to reset after getting cart a little bit further. Lenny does get Poseidon, which will put a lot of space for a blue team. Pick costs both being at 12 seconds, they have a lot of time to work on this. In fact, red is now 3 down, and I think with that, you just heard the Rika effect, because GG is going to be leaving. His stuff's going to be left behind, meaning that they won't have a gun in time for a second most likely, but he's going to be safe to start rebuilding. It looks like if he's leaving, it looks like everyone else is leaving. You can tell that the Pyro and Medic are going to leave from the side house and go all the way around, so they don't cross the sight line. And Soldier's going to bomb out right now. Heavy unrevs and starts to leave here. Notice how instead of full leaving, the Soldier is going to stay. And while the Scout and NG are trying to chase here, the Soldier can use his rockets to kind of delay that. And now he doesn't want to push anymore. Which was a really great supportive play. Although cart is being pushed, looks like the combo is already trying to get going onto hill and get a little bit of pressure going. While red is regrouping, they're playing a little bit farther back because of spawners, and also because they might expect sacks around this time. Spy is kind of living behind. This is very typical kind of play, usually grabbing those packs and then getting in position to go for a sap or a stab. So while they're resetting on hill, let's see what the team is doing. Looks like they're just playing it kind of slow, waiting for cart time. Here they should want to, around this time, during this kind of downtime, they want to get some cart time going. They put their combo into cart in order to make sure that the cart can get as far as they can. They should be peeking more doors, which kind of a misplay that they're not. When they're waiting for cart time. They got cart around the bend, which is what I think they initially wanted, but what they really should have done is try to get the cart ×3 to around this tunnel exit here. I think they wanted to go fast because they got a pick, and they wanted to work off of that pick. And so they Uber on the hill. It is even Ubers, and they do know that. So what they're doing here, Demo tried to jump in, sticky jump in with isn't able to quite get far enough. Notice how it's a scout demo Uber, and look how far back literally everyone else is on the team. No one else is intending to go in during this Uber. The reason why is because that red team still has Uber. And now here comes the counter. Pyro's doing a super smart thing of the air blasting the scout up, and now he's disconnected from beam, and he's going to be killable. Super smart play, makes him more vulnerable and caught out most likely to die. Because at this point, blue team is just trying to get out. Melon's trying to stall for time. Their attention is taken away from Pablo, who's now just able to get out for free. He does a smart thing of instead of leaving through the hill, he drops down into tunnel to get out that way. Super smart play. recognizing that this kind of doorway was unsafe. This is where all the spam is going, as you can see, and all the attention. So he goes through the other exit to leave. Melon doesn't even die here, able to reflect all the way. Blank bombs in to kind of catch them out from behind. Does he get anything? He does get one rocket on Delete Mori. Which is super, super good. Spy's trying to get behind again. Oh, Jay-Z is able to get 2. 3 are down, and now it looks like they're going to try to reset. Spy goes for a sap while the heavy tries to peek. Super good coordination there. Not able to do much because there's no presence on hill, really. He's still trying to peek because I guess it's called that they're still trying to fight hill. Soldier goes in for a bomb, and here you have a really good coordinated play, right? Yeah, the soldier that goes in for the bomb, taking all their attention. Notice how they're all looking at the soldier. Literally, this is what soldier bombs are supposed to do. Like, honestly, it's more so than actually getting the pick. The picks are extra, but what's nice here is that the soldier who was on the rooftop is dropping down to shoot and looking at the soldier that just bombed. The pyro's looking at him to reflect. The sniper's looking at him to kill him. Same as the heavy, he's starting to rev and slowing himself down in order to kill him. Same with the scout who's looking at this. They're all looking. Even the NG that's rolling out is going to be looking at that soldier. And now look what's happening while everyone's looking towards the soldier. Heavy's picking from side tunnel, getting some free extra damage. And now Demo's walking up for free without being shot from the soldier or anyone else. Soldier's dead. Red soldier drops down. Now all their attention is going to be on side tunnel. Looks like blue team isn't actually that hard committed though. I thought they would go more for an aggressive play, but it was just exile on hill, so the timings were a little bit off. Looks like they're focusing on resetting here. They do have a tele set up. I'm not sure what level. They're building the gun a little bit more inwards. This is pretty meta, especially for this demo where lock and load was unbanned. Making sure the gun isn't too exposed is kind of important. Sniper's peeking from the far right, pretty standard. It's more strong than peeking close. Spy gets caught. Soldier's going in for a bomb but gets denied. Heavy's trying to fight from main tunnel. Well, Scout gets cart time. Soldier went for the bomb, but he's lit, can't fight, and then they're fighting on kill. Uber comes out from red team. Melon's able to deny, just focus on air blasting, and is able to kind of back out. Gets an arrow, and is nice and safe. Blue has their Uber, so that was a really good play. Getting the Uber out of red team while keeping their own. Yeah, look how passive they are. They are ready to leave. They don't intend to hold this for too much. Mori just goes forward a little bit to set some traps, and he backs up again. They're backing up because they know blue team has Uber, and red team doesn't, and they don't want to die for this. Yep. Bad timing from Mori, who just goes to do some spam, but then gets surprised from main tunnel because they don't have anyone on red team looking to main tunnel. Since the entire team is flying to back out. Looks like they're actually trying to kite with the battalions. Battalion's super nice for that damage reduction. Blue noticed that he can't fight against the battalions, so he backs up. And they're also getting flankers from behind. While they have their team getting on cart, the players on hill were too focused on Blue Walrus on side tunnel to actually do anything about the cart. And then Pablo is actually flanking from behind. What kind of play is he going for? He gets caught out. Soldier going for a salvage play. Medic lived with one. Poseidon really wanted it, but ended up missing, and some beefs happened. Red is trying to regroup with the 5 people they have up, and blue team is trying to go fast, catch the red team up while they're down numbers. Super smart. I think I think they could have gone a little more aggressive there. It was only a level 1 and they were still down a lot of players. Yes, the NG does have crits, which is super scary. But if the heavy rounded the corner with them, trading 1-for-1 with the NG here and killing the NG and the gun, while the rest of the players can catch up and then be more oppressive, and hold them in the shutter. I think that was a potential option that was missed. Look at that high bomb from the soldier. Bombing off of this rooftop, by the way, to go super high and then go down, super good play. A lot of invite soldiers do it. Defense can't really react to it, and you can get what you want pretty easily. Soldier's trying to leave. Notices that the Uber is happening on track, so he jumps off the wall again to try to go the other doorway. Melon's trying to reflect, isn't able to quite do that though, and he dies in this case. Actually, it looks like it's a full wipe for that Uber. Super good play from Red. Actually able to collapse onto their entire team with that Uber. Full wipe is insane. Now they have advantage. They have time to rebuild, be a little bit more aggressive. In an invite, teams generally play out a lot more. I think a lot of lower divisions, teams try to play more on this backside and out of the tracks, where it's a lot more common in invite to play out on the cart, or on the tracks, I should say. Pretty standard combos going through lockers and then going to ladders. This is a very common play for combo to do. At that same time, they're getting cart time. Blue's getting cart time with their cart pushers. Demo's going to peek king ladders, and then they're going to have Blue's going to have some players peek from this side as well. Timing looks to be a little bit off though. I think, yeah, Chalk is able to pressure them out of ladders, killing Demo as well, and they're already getting a lot of picks on the Blue. Yeah, timings just feel so out of sync on Blue team for these. Being caught out because of it. So yeah, it looks like they're regrouping. Hyphen has some buildings up. Just curious. That is level 2. That's level 3 actually. Level 3 Jelly is going to help a lot with these kind of regroupings. Glad he was able to find the time to do so. They're refighting from ladders here. Jay-Z goes in, and I'm guessing he called that he was going for a stab, because as he's doing that, look how Leif, the Pyro, and the Demo are starting to peek now. Same as the Sniper. All 3 of them are starting to peek now that the Spy goes in for a play. And they're doing an Uber exchange, actually. They dropped Melon, which is a super bad thing, though. This is also a really good angle for the Scout. Just spamming down from up here. I'm pretty surprised that I feel like they should have gotten a lot more out of this. Too bad Chalk doesn't have cheats, and he didn't know that Flu Walrus was so lit, because that would have been an insane cleanup. Is able to get a lot of players though, and through that kind of a whole exchange, both teams actually ended up dying a lot, which is a little bit surprising. Looks like Blue is just trying to repush. They're going to go through ladders again. Very classic. Teams love to push through ladders. It's the safest. It's the best. But they know that red team's out, so in this case they can just focus on cart time and getting going. First of all, they just need a ×3. Lenny and Blank are already super forward. Now, it's bad that they're here by themselves, but they're actually in the correct position. In this case, a lot of the blue team should be already going as fast as these guys are. They notice that they're alone, so they're not getting too aggressive, but they have a good idea of like what they should do. Let's see what red team is doing in prep. So it looks like to slow them down a little bit, Mori put some stakes scattered about in main and on the platform. This platform is nice because if Heavy tries the head glitch here, the stickies are going to kill him. Super sneaky play. Gun is going up on Gun is going up on the crates. Scout's playing on the flank, kind of spotting from here alone, which is honestly just fine. He's playing for info right here. He's trying to see where their team is going. Spy is starting to fight him now, and he backs off. He's not trying to take fights, he's just playing for info. Heavy was in red room for a little bit, but then gets pushed out from their team. Since Scout called where they were going, Soldier's now playing up here on the platform, whereas red team is more playing in this kind of open area behind the gun. Leif is focusing on reflecting. Spy kind of sucks on this point, so Pyro can focus more on the supporting gun rather than spy checking. Here, Mori got a little bit too eager to pressure the sniper. This is what you're supposed to do, by the way, as demo, is occasionally try to walk forward into big door and try to pressure, just for a little bit before backing out. But he didn't clear main and didn't see the gun, and the gun just melted him. And in general, I think he made the mistake of not keeping tabs on main because he didn't know that there were players there. If he saw those players, he probably would have just instantly backed up, but he committed too much of his body and died to the gun. Leveled guns is super good on offense last for these kind of reasons. In main is super good. I like to do big door, keeping it up here, and then maybe if I have the opportunity, placing it down here. In this case, we have an Uber exchange going out. Notice how they're not afraid to take Uber exchanges. I think a lot of teams learn that if you're at even Ubers or disad, you want to try to force them either by pressure or by sacking. Notice how neither of these teams are really doing that, or at least not Witness Gaming. How they're doing it is that they're playing to get the Ubers out. We saw this on first, and we're seeing this like a very common theme, especially here. They're playing to get the Uber out of red. And now neither teams have Uber. Now, since the Ubers are gone and they don't have to worry about it, they're refighting. Demo's already walking. They were just kind of hanging in big door for waiting for the Uber to end. Now it's ended. They're walking again. Look at the entire team walking forward, walking forward. Spy's getting ready for a stab. You can tell because he's going to the spawn door, which is usually a very unsafe place unless you're going for a stab pretty fast. And yeah, they go big door, starting to peek. Spy decloaks. Yep, that's just as we expected. Guns down the sniper when he realizes he can't really go for a stab fast enough. And they're just getting a lot of space here. Well, the red team is doing what they're supposed to do, which is play for the platform up here or play to kind of wrap behind here. Both those plays are how you're supposed to handle this. That's how you refight when they're kind of locking out like this. And Heavy's playing the head glitch. This is a super strong spot for Heavy. All Heavies play that when you're kind of locking out like this. Locking them out. Notice that they're trying to go through big door like they're supposed to, but every player that tried to do that got denied by this gun. This gun is actually doing a lot because it also stops them from being on this platform up here. It's a very, very good gun. And they're able... The mixture of the gun and also their positioning overall actually allowed them to cap that point. Super, super good plays, as you'd expect from the top two teams.
60 seconds.
Now, in contrast to what the first team was doing, they're not being so meticulous with the placements of the stickies. Instead of spreading them around, just keeping it in a couple of spots. I think, yeah, one above this doorway where combos usually go through, and the other in front of the cart. The most probable places of being able to catch out players is when they're trying to tap the cart, plus you get a HUD notification if they do get on cart, and you can go off of that. The other is through the kind of flank door, meaning that if you can time this right, you can catch a combo when maybe they're not suspecting because they don't see stickies on this door. but since they're probably a little bit smarter, they know that there's no stickies on this door, so there's going to be stickies elsewhere. If they only see 4 stickies here, that means there's 4 stickies somewhere else. Spies playing on this forward hill, pretty standard. This is just how spies usually get their info. It lets them know which doorway, like if they're standing here, you can see which doorway the team is going through. Center, right, or left. That kind of info can tell your team where their combo is going. And then after this, I think Decho is going to rotate onto the rock right here, which is a very standard spot as well for passive calls. It tells you where a lot of players are going, and if you stand back here, you can also see deep into the flank. Yeah, as you can see, standing on the rocks, you can stand behind this little barrier too, plus on this little ledge that's hanging out a little bit. You notice that red is holding very differently than the last round, because it looks like Witness Gaming is favoring to do a passive first hold versus the hard kind of forward hold that you saw here. Both of them are very valid. More traditionally, this is what people know to play this map, is that they put gun kind of passive somewhere in that area. When Hyphen opted to put it next to the crates. I've never used that spot before, but I'm sure it's great. Heavy's kind of playing in tunnel, making sure players can't get behind from tunnel, and he can shoot from here if he needs to. They're not like hard giving it up, right? They still have players playing out a little bit, doing a little bit of spam, making sure that blue can't get away with too much for free. But now blue can focus on getting cart time, while their combo is just playing to clear out the flank. And they're actually going to fight from the flank, which is super good. That stab was good for the team. Lenny was just trying to get some angles from over here onto flank and onto tracks. Very, very standard. And I think soon we can expect them to start packing up. Okay. Decho wants to go for something. He is found, and so he decides to not go for it. Smart decision. He reevaluated when he saw it wasn't going to work out. Hyphen played to pull his gun. Unlike the forward hold, where in most cases NG has to give up his buildings, Hyphen instead played to save his buildings so that when they go fast like this, they have something on a second. Imagine if this scenario, but because they were leaving from the first forward, there was no gun here. Blue would be in a very, very, very insane position if that was the case. Something to note is the reason why they're going past here is one, just because they have the time to get the Ubers out. They want to do the Uber exchange to get Ubers out like we saw in the last round. You can see that both teams are doing that kind of style. It's a very repeated theme of trying to get Ubers out from both teams. At least from the offense perspective. Soldier's going for a play behind, it looks like. He got whipped, so you can see the little visual effects. So he whipped someone and then doing a fast bomb going behind during this Uber. No one's expecting to fight in the Uber. Notice how on blue team the only players in are the Uber players, and then everyone else is kiting as well. So just playing to get behind, for a play behind. Not like don't think that this is like what your soldier has to do. It's just how Mako opted to play this, which is a valid way of playing. Okay, now that Ubers are out, I don't know about that NG play. That was a little bit of a feed. But now they have, looks like blue is trying to go on hill now. That NG should have been alive to play it apart a little bit more and let Birdo play the combo or something. I think what Birdo would have wanted
what blue team really wanted here is put Engie on cart, and you put your scout on the rooftop here. You stop that bomb from happening, and you can shoot down onto their players from up here. Scout on the rooftop is super good. You can shoot the gun without it shooting back if you're playing it right, and you can shoot the other players as well, making them focus on 2 different spots that are kind of hard to shoot. At this point though, it looks like the blue team is baiting out for some reason. Maybe to get healed. Yeah, probably to get heals out or something. Chalk is kind of caught in though. Chalk was in a good position overall because it meant that he could support on hill, and then when he was no longer needed up here, he could drop the he could shoot just from this ledge right here, but then he could drop down and then play either the cart or the head glitch on tracks here. When you're playing Vigil, don't forget that you do have the option to drop down. Combos playing on hill, your main combo force playing on hill is usually the best choice, but if you need to, whether to leave, not take damage, or to play from a different angle, it's definitely still worth just to drop down from there. Put some sticks on the side, doesn't get anything. Spy goes for a sap, does go down to the sticky. I'm sure that Jay-Z called that out. He was sapping, and then they followed up, which was really good. Poseidon's playing wide, which is fine. Look how Chalk is now. Okay, so this is what I was kind of talking about just like 5 seconds ago. Chalk is playing for the head glitch down there, and Birdo's playing on the rooftop to get some spam. All they need now is for their Pyro and their demo to play forward on the hill and start spamming. The fact that Mori is so far behind is actually really bad here. If he could look forward a little bit more, this would be an instant win of a push. Because they're being shot from 3 different angles. Birdo, who's the lightest class, is being shot at an angle that's high up and hard to shoot, meaning that his low HP isn't an issue at all. Chalk, who's the most vulnerable and the deepest in, has the most amount of HP, and so they have to put the most attention towards it. And then at the 3rd angle behind that player, which is on hill, if they were a little bit more forward, the spam, they don't have the opportunity to look at probably the biggest AoE damage and damage dealer in general. Obviously, the heaviest that would probably be also a super huge problem if left unchecked, so they have to look towards him. But left unchecked on hill would also be huge. But the blue is just way too slow. But I think, yeah, they can just focus him down. They do go on a hill, but it's a little bit slow. Doesn't matter because it looks like red is giving this up anyways. But I just feel like that was a small thing that could have been cleaner from them. No matter what team you're on, as you can see, these are the best 2 teams, and I've so far commented on both teams having small coordination issues and timing issues. Doesn't matter how good you are, you guys aren't psychic and you don't have wall hacks, so there's always opportunities to get better in sync, and that's something you get better at by playing with the same people over and over again. I think this is both these teams' first time playing together with these rosters. Like, they played together in general. Rib is a multi-season team, same as Witness Gaming, but with these rosters in particular, alright, this is funny. Exile is going for sticks up here because he knows the soldiers love to go for high bombs, because it's just an insane thing to do. So he's putting sticks up there and hoping to catch out those soldiers, and he puts a couple of sticks down here, which is pretty standard because this is one of the best sticky traps, like, on this map, where you can more consistently get value from it. Jay-Z goes for a stab from under, because snipers love to stand roughly here, leaving their backs exposed, and so he took advantage of that. Without a sniper to keep him in check, Poseidon is able to peek a lot more. Mori wants to get ready to peek ladders, but at the same time they're getting ready for players to peek back here on the hill. Chalk is getting ready for a play from behind, actually. We'll see how this goes. But red team is Uber, but blue team doesn't. I think Foxy is getting ready to leave. Yeah, the Uber around the corner. Foxy takes some damage, but is able to leave with his scout. Yeah, those 2 are able to leave. I think everyone else dies here, though. that's fine. They got what they wanted. They got the Uber out from red team, while blue didn't quite have Uber yet. And now blue has full Uber. Also, did you see that trap that was right there? Just dead onto the soldier. And now they don't have a soldier for this Uber. That soldier was getting ready to do the high bomb around. But that really insane trap ended up killing him and almost killed the medic, honestly. If Foxy was even a second later on Ubering there, Foxy would have been dead too. Meaning that full Uber would have been at 0, and they would have likely just instantly lost. That would have been instant GG's. Maybe not, but it'd be about a minute off the clock, and they would reset their overall positions on the point. It looks like their team isn't opting to utilize lockers this time, and they're mostly just doing full main plays, where they have the Uber going up from main tracks, and then Scout and NG are going wide. Same as Sniper. Okay, so with the Uber, Mori is opting to ignore the gun, leaving someone else to kill it. And the rest of the team is trying to kill the gun, while Mori is mostly just focused on killing the players, which is smart. Sometimes you have to leave certain things for the rest of your team to deal with, so that you can deal with more fun stuff. So some player exchanges are happening here. Chalk is fighting from the crates again. Flu Walrus is a little bit more healthy. Does get the kill there before dying to the Demo, and then Demo cleans up. He gets cleaned up by the Scout. They're all kind of just chaosing, trying to get a little bit of cart time going. Looks like the cart's up the hill anyways, but they're trying to get as close as they can. Cart's up the hill, so they have to kind of light hold this unless they can get Uber in time. Yeah, they're gonna get Uber just in time. Lenny can play aggro like this. This is a very common angle, either forward up there or back here, just to do it briefly while respawners are happening, so you can catch a free frag. In this case, they know that no one's peeking, but they are alive, so they're probably going lockers, so this is unsafe. So he leaves. Def Joe's playing for eyes. Book and Dagger, he's just getting info. Super common. They're going with that trap again. But not being a cheater, he doesn't know that or like, I guess not having calls. I should actually like not sarcastically say. He doesn't know this NG passes through, so he doesn't dead. Maybe he's waiting for a bigger pick, who knows. GG is just focusing on touching cart a little bit. Honestly, kind of a bad play, but they do actually force the Uber to come out with that, which is actually kind of insane. I feel like they had the Uber there, but they did it anyways. Hyphen's moving the gun up a little bit. This is smart. By moving gun up, you cover a little bit more space and makes it harder to tap the cart, because you want the cart to roll back and down the hill. So he's putting the gun a little bit more aggro. And these are kind of like more invite and advanced kind of things where they play out on the cart rather than hiding back here. Oftentimes for lower div teams though, unless like the teams are all on the page of how to play aggressive, a lot of times I recommend to keep your gun up on the crate, and yeah, dispenser roughly where that is. I like to put a little bit more aggressive, roughly where the medic's feet is. Oh, those are nice little slippers. So just going for a high bomb over the lockers, try to get the Uber force. Uber goes out, and here's the exchange. Because I think, yeah, they're opting to leave and have a good last hold. Cart's really close, and they know they can't really retest. They don't have Uber, so they're just wanting to leave instead. NG is unfortunately caught out, and that's actually a huge pick for a blue team. Losing the red sniper and the red NG makes this last really free. And I think they know that. While GG is getting some cart time, look how fast they're already going. And the Mori is whipping so that... No, sorry. Mako's whipping so that Mori can go even faster to catch them off guard. And then using the kind of speed boost, Mako's trying to go to the flank to get behind. He's it does get into Soldier v Soldier. They get the cleanup and they're going to go for picks. They have two people going from red room and then the rest going from tracks. Red is down a lot of players, including no gun, so they're just trying to get really aggro. Moray saw that they were kiting back to their spawn, and they were likely going to recontest from this doorway, so he preemptively trapped it off. Very smart kind of thinking. You're essentially shutting off this front doorway, forcing the red team to take the side door, which is how you play this. If you get locked out of the point in general, you go through the side door. So super smart play from these guys. Mako's playing on the platform, trying to get a little bit of height and trying to cut them off from their only other way for contesting. Crack time is happening. Scout NG. Ubers are out. Medic goes down. Foxy dying there is really unfortunate. Just probably bad luck. Missed reflect from Leif or something. Trigger control from Shock here. Does shoot now. I think he should have maybe waited a little bit longer. As he will go down for that. Trigger discipline to not shoot there is huge, because they didn't know that he was in that corner, and like right now, how they're playing out, this would be a great time for him to peek. He peeked here early, and they had time to shoot him. They're all kind of just chaosing in at this point. Both teams lost a lot of players, but blue has the faster respawns. And do they have tele up? They don't, so they do have to go the long way. I don't know what that NG's doing. That was kind of a feed. They're going to regroup outside of Red Room. This is where most teams kind of regroup, is just roughly in this area. And they're moving together. Poseidon's getting ready to peek. Well, it looks like Pyro Demo are going to try to hide beam, go along the cliffside. They go along the cliffside because A, they won't be shot, and if they went early enough, they actually can't be seen either. So red team might not know that they're going flank until it's too late. Right. Heavy and Soldier are most likely going to stay in Red Room. This is pretty standard. Yeah, Heavy, Soldier, Red Room. Well, it looks like Scout, Demo, Medic are getting ready to go flank. Their Pyro was supposed to go flank as well, but got super lit. You can see he's at 2 HP. So he actually cannot go with them, or he will instant die. Then there's Poseidon with him as well. Yeah, Poseidon will try to peek big door when he can. And it looks like, where did... Yeah, I guess Jay, G just respawned because he fed late. That was definitely a misplay, because helping kill that spy and whoever is in big door would have been huge for their team. They're fighting Soldier there. Yeah. Let's see, Chalk and Mako, I guess they were going for pack, and now Mako is whipping Chalk in order to get pack, more in position in Red Room. Notice how well they're utilizing the whip as well to kind of get their team more forward. This is like the second or third time we've seen this, using the whip, not just on rollout, but just in general rotations. Like, if there's downtime, you can, as a soldier, you can use the whip to help your team get to their destination from faster, which allows you to catch the other team off guard by the timing. Especially the slower classes like Demo or Heavy, obviously. And then after he gets done whipping, he's going to utilize the speed boost to jump. In this case, I don't think he's going to jump in. I think he's going to jump to either a big door or he's going to jump to the platform. We'll see. No, he is going to jump in. He's going for a bomb. At this point, GG is trying to switch to level 3s, get a level 1 started. Chalk is going to slow peek with his minigun around this corner, as you're kind of supposed to. And we should be suspecting that Moray and Verto will be peeking from the flank as well. Bomb goes out. Melon is doing an excellent job kind of reflecting that. Blue is playing really safe around the corner. For the position that their team is, we're being stuck in this corner. This is probably the safest position for Blue. It does look like the Blake does go down from the demo spam. Mori was kind of sniping, using sniping stick, was sniping with stickies all the way from the platform. Chalk is now peeking from the red room. Does get headshot by Letty and goes down. They're playing for cart time while Moray is starting to peek. Jaycee goes for pistol onto NG. One of those cases of using your gun is just better than your knife. The better you get with your gun, by the way, I think the better spy you are. Knowing how to switch between your knife and your gun, and the timings, and just your judgment with which to use is a really, I feel like an understated, like kind of like appreciated kind of skill for the spy. It's not just about decloak timings and going for key picks with stabs or well-timed saps. Well, those are like important things. Being able to know when to use your gun and harass them with your gun and aim with your gun, super good. Anyways, they're playing for cart time. They get it up the hill. The people on the platform start to drop down. And yeah, they tried to contest, but wasn't able to quite do that, and they were able to get the cap because they were all kind of stacking it. They had the ×3, and Melon was there to help. Leif was there to help deny. Red was already down a lot, and yeah. Excellent plays from both teams in this regard. We got to see some of their stronger parts, some of the things that maybe they could improve on, and just in general, just like how the higher divisions kind of play this map.